fellow YouTubers. We're here at the Little Farm on the River RV Park, and this evening we are going to do a review and use of the Forest River R-Pod Model 179. This is the 2015 version. So I'll go ahead and get started here. First off, the R-Pod 179 model comes solar ready. This is important if you want to go off-grid. Through Zamp Solar, you can purchase what they call their mobile unit, 80 or 120 watt, and that will enable you to keep the batteries stored. So that mobile unit, which I believe is right around $400, comes with a controller with it and everything. So it's a pretty good addition, and we'll move forward. The 179 version comes with a spare tire, as most RVs do. Additionally, all the glass that you see around is the privacy glass. As an FYI, when the lights are on, the glass is not private. Good thing is, inside when we do a review, the shades are complete blackout shades. So let's go ahead and move over to some other functions. The R-Pod 179 is a 30 amp, accepts a 30 amp service, and with an adapter it will also accept the 15 amp 115. However, if you want to run the air conditioning, you will need the 30 amp service. Right above that is the cable entry and satellite. So this R-Pod version is cable and satellite ready, and comes with a 19-inch TV. You'll see that when we do the inside video. Let's move on up. Here you can see the slide. This slide is the newer design for R-Pod, and what's really nice is if you look up here at the top, they've developed a channel to help rainwater runoff, and the seals that are here are very, very good. So we'll scan over now to the fridge area. This is your outlet vents for your fridge. And the window that's over the dinette on the inside. So this is quite a large slide. In comparison, this newer model has a larger slide, and that enabled the kitchen to be at one end, on the back end, and on the front is the RV Queen. So now your dinette slides out, making it quite nice. You can scan down. It has separate gray water and black water disposal tanks, hookups. So down here is the gray tank with some low point drains. And down here is the black tank with some other freshwater low point drains. This didn't come with the R-Pod, but anybody who buys any RV, something I would recommend are these mud dauber screens. So this mud dauber screen here is over the heater inlet, and of course you're not using that during the summer, but mud daubers and wasps just love that. Here we have the city water connection and the freshwater tank above that. This freshwater tank is a 36-gallon tank. The R-Pods are all totally self-contained with a wet bath, kitchen, and they come with a 36-gallon freshwater tank, a 30-gallon black water tank, and a 30-gallon gray water tank. Here we have the 6-gallon hot water heater that is propane fired. I believe there is a modification you can get at your RV store that'll enable it to be electric or propane. However, I have not looked into that. But this takes about 10-12 minutes to get the water fully hot. Does a real good job. We'll scroll down here to the dry weights. One of the advantages of the R-Pod is that it has the ability to be towed by for instance, by a minivan. Now, our tow vehicle is a Ford Explorer Sport Track with a V8, and it has no trouble pulling it. So I believe dry weight on this is 2,700 pounds, and it's got a about a 285 pound hitch weight. So, of course, if you're going to purchase one and tow it, you need to double check all that and make sure all the numbers fit your tow vehicle. Up front here, it's got a light in case you want to check battery or propane at night. Now, one of the upgrades that we had was we had double propanes installed and double marine battery 24 cycle batteries added to that. So in case we want to winter camp where we're off grid. As you can see here, it's got the 4 stabilizing jacks, and one thing they say that's important is those are not leveling jacks. Those are truly stabilizing jacks. So level with your tires or, of course, with the front jack, which is hand crank. It's not a problem. I'm going to have my videographer, Missy, here go ahead and just scan the R-Dome as soon as our RV park golf cart goes by, and just have her scan this. And if you scan up at top, you may be able to see that the R-Pods also come with a over-the-air digital antenna. And we'll show more of that entertainment center when we do the inside. What's nice about this R-Dome is that it can basically be totally closed up and be like a floorless tent, or it can have the screens come up and become a screen porch on all 3 sides, or you can roll the doors up like we have on what we've done on this other side on all 3, and it becomes like an awning. As you can see here, this is quite a bit of room. It adds 9 by 12. Please pardon our mess. We're at the end of a camping trip here. But as you can see, coming inside, there's quite a bit of room here on the in the R-Dome. Now the R-Dome is an option, and it's an expensive one. It costs right around $600, maybe a little more depending on your dealer. And on the owner's forms, there were people, especially from years gone by, that said that the track, so if the top of it slides in a track like this here, and they were saying they were having difficulty. So people have used like soap on it, but our pod, I've been told, has fixed the screws to help it out to guide through. It takes about 15 minutes to set up. Once you get used to it, it's a very worthwhile option. For instance, we just had a really hard rain here on our first night. Didn't have any problems. We just closed it up. Actually, we only partially closed it up. Everything inside stayed dry. It really was great. I'm going to move something here so you can see. This right here is the only external storage area, and it is not a complete pass-through. Because this model has the bed on this end, part of it shares part of the bed, but you have about 18 inches by about another 18 inches that does go over to the other side, but because of the water heater and that location, they didn't put a door on the other side, but there is more than ample room there for what most people would put in. No, it won't fit golf clubs. If you're going to do that, you're going to have to throw them in your tow vehicle, but they are really nice. Additionally, this has external 115 outlets, so when we're out here, we run a fan that helps keep things cool. Up top, you may notice here these 2 black round pieces of plastic. Those are the outside marine speakers, and I say marine meaning they're waterproof. Now, this speaker system is not what I would consider high-quality Bose-N type system, but it's more than adequate to watch a game, listen to some music. The entertainment center inside, you can play CDs or MP3s, and it can all be piped right out here to the external speakers. You also have an orange outside light. And one thing I'd like to say about the lighting on this edition, or this model, for 2015, I'll wait here for the vehicle to go by. Is that all of the lighting inside and out is LED. It's quite nice. It saves on power, especially if you're on battery. Another option you may notice here that we did have, and it's about a $200, $250 option, is you will notice the fender a lot higher from the tire. And that's because we had what they call a riser option put in. I believe it's 4 inches. And what that does is gets the bottom of the R-Pod off the ground another 4 inches to help with scraping. So our dealer, Delightful Days out of Walton, Kentucky, said they order all of theirs with that because people were having a problem. So if you decide you want to buy an R-Pod, whether it's this model or another one, I would recommend getting the risers. It definitely helps keeping your bottom from scraping should you go over a bump, or if you're on more of a off-road, like gravel road type thing. This model also comes with the black tank flush, which is really nice, hooking the water hooking water up to it after you've done draining and really flush that tank out good. This is keyless entry right here also, which is an advantage. And of course it's got the handle, which we don't use a lot sitting out. Little trick I'll show you here that my girlfriend thought of, my videographer Missy, is if you have dogs and you are always losing their little leashes and stuff, you can buy those suction cups, and they attach quite well to the outside, so you can hang things on there. We thought it was quite nice. Well, that's about it for the outside review. If you're interested in buying an R-Pod, I will say Missy and I have used this now 4 times. We've been in all kinds of weather with it, barring the winter, which we will be doing winter camping with. But we've been very happy with it. We definitely would recommend getting the R-Dome if you do. It is expensive, but I think you will find it to be quite a worthwhile option to purchase. So, from the Viper Bike Network, take care, and please look forward to our interior review of the Forest River R-Pod 179. Thank you.